Hey, yeah. Sorry for the delay. I just have to wait, make sure it goes live. Anyway, this title, this is Angelina County and what they don't say. And if you notice a pattern in Angelina County, you'll notice that it's not what they say; it's what they don't say. We've been privy to this because the fact is that nobody will do an interview on camera that are actually elected officials. They always go behind the scenes and never clearly state what their position is. Today, we have a meet and greet with the candidates at Pfizer Convention Center. And I just got back from the VA, so I'm not going to make it. And the reason why it's simple is because the fact is I know I preach community participation. And the reason why I'm not going to go is because the fact is that basically I've heard it. I heard everybody's stance. I have heard and basically done my own research on who's voting for who to vote for, who not to vote for. Um, so the meet and greet would not do me any good because the fact is that politicians seem to put on a different face or facade when they're around a group of people. So um, not making excuses. I'm just saying that it's not really worth my time in Angelina County because the fact is that I don't think it's going to come down to one election um, to actually change what we have actually experienced in Angelina County for the last 20, 25 years. We keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I just can't seem to break that trend. However, one issue that I wanted to go with is that there's a hot topic right now on Angelina County jails extension. We have heard, and we are very curious about financial responsibility. Now, we have had individuals who speak at the commissioners meeting, and these individuals who are proponents of expansion of the jail, whenever they when they request time from the commissioners, they're given unlimited time. You and me only get 3 minutes. These individuals get unlimited time. The latest was that we see Sheriff Selman get up and instead of addressing the commissioner's court, he turns the podium around and says, I'm addressing the people. Okay, well, if you're going to address the people, well, the people have questions. You didn't take no time. You didn't take any time to answer questions, did you? Now, here's some of the points that I want to go through that concerns me about the extension of the jail. Number one is the fact is that we have nothing uh, either estimated or actually produced or any documentation that shows us how many uh, inmates that we will actually be able to hold that's out of county. So, in other words, this is the whole reason why this was sold because the fact is we could pay for it by actually bringing individuals from other counties into our jail system. Reason why that matters is that if you're from Angelina County and you go to Angelina County Jail, it costs taxpayers $35 a day. However, if you get somebody in, for example, Newton County, they come down here. Well, we get an income of $75 a day. So, but there has no been any documentation or any mention of the fact is that how much monthly are we expected to gain by housing more of these prisoners from out of county? Nobody seems to want to talk about that. Everybody says, well, this will pay for itself. I'm sorry. A new trend here in Angelina County I'm trying to start is show me in a piece of paper where you can actually put your name on it and give me an estimate so I can keep track of the money that we're spending and how much money we're actually putting back into the coffers. It can be done. They won't do it. We are currently taking proposals, not bids, but proposals from contractors for this extension. Now, we don't know. We don't know these companies. We don't know the quality of their work. We do not know anything about these companies, and they have not even showed up to represent themselves as far as their plans or their working capabilities. They have experience in these in building jails. And like Sheriff Selman says, is that it's all secure inside the cells. Well, now you're actually going to bring in contractors to actually extend the jail, and they're going to have access to all the information that they deny the public from seeing. Second point is I want to bring up is the Sheriff Selman says that that we don't support law enforcement if we do not extend the jail. Well, let's break it down like a shotgun, shall we? Number one is, and he actually specifically mentioned, well, there's people getting out on probation, they're getting out on PR bonds, they're getting out on bonds, they're getting out of whatever. And this insinuated the fact is, you know what? He doesn't want the judicial system to actually take its course. I don't think he realizes that these people are innocent until proven guilty. He says morale is low in his department because the fact is that these individuals are getting out of jail on PR bonds specifically, or whatever. Well, it's a part of the justice system. So now you don't have a problem. You have a problem with the justice system. It alerts me, or it worries me whenever we have a sheriff at a sheriff's department who not only are there to serve and protect, or that's what they're supposed to do, but also they want to pass judgment on individuals that they arrest. It's not your lane, man. That's your job. Is when you see somebody that's committing a crime, then you arrest them. You properly fill out the report. You take them to the Angelina County where they're booked, and they're handed over to the custody of the Angelina County Jail. That's it. That is your job. Your morale is definitely determined by the police department and its leaders. We can tell by this statement that our current sheriff's department believes that if we arrest them, they should all go to jail. No trial, no jury, go to jail. We're going to lock them up. We've seen how that happens. We have two people. We got people in there for 2 to 5 years without even getting to a trial. And you just want to lock people up for the duration, or you just want to lock them up indefinitely. And this is going to create what on our judicial system? A backlog like we have now. Now, granted, we have a new district attorney coming in. We can only hope for the best. We have had sporadic comments from him, but there's been no official stance on what he plans to do and to correct the justice system and the district attorney's office. We have no information on that, or none of it has been disseminated to us. This bothers me because the fact is that we need to know we're getting a new district attorney. What the hell is your stance? What are you going to do about this backlog? What are you going to do? Simple as that. Or are we going to maintain the fact is that we're relying on these individuals from other counties to come in to pay for our loan that we want to take out? I believe the last figure I heard was 16 million. I think the bids are coming in around 11 million to 14 million, but they haven't made a decision on what. But anyway, we're counting on other individuals from other counties to send these individuals to pay for our debt that we incur. Can you see a problem with that? Well, I can. Because the fact is, as soon as the other counties don't live up to their end of the bargain and send us these overflow inmates, then we're going to fill them up with people that are actually waiting for trial, and we're going to actually start overloading the system again. Our crime rate has not gone up drastically. Our crime rate is we are one of the places that our crime rate attracts people because it's got a low crime rate compared to Houston, Dallas, or whatever. However, the fact is that it bothers me when we have individuals who just want to lock people up based on the fact of what somebody said, based on the fact that what a cop writes down his report, and throw them in jail and lock and throw away the key. This is not the sheriff's department's lane. The justice system judgment is not to be passed by your police officers or your law enforcement agencies. They're supposed to see you identify a crime, they arrest the individual for the crime, and then they turn them over to custody. And guess what? They go out and do the job again. If you are a law enforcement officer or a sheriff department officer, if you let every bust that you have get to you because you don't think that they actually did the right sentence or whatever, if you spend your time on tracking these individuals that are actually in jail and what their punishments are, maybe you should be concentrating on doing your job and catching the individuals who are actually doing jobs instead of letting your morale down because of people that we're letting go. We have a justice system. Contrary to popular belief, we have a justice system in Angelina County, broken, whatever. But that's not your lane as a sheriff. Second of all, is we still have, and we have actually, well, I'll give you an update on this. We have actually gone a step above our county attorney, Kirby. We have gone a step above Janet Castles. We have gone above of an attorney general's opinion that states that video cameras inside the jail are top secret information. I don't know about you, but as a taxpayer, I want to make sure whenever there's something that happens in the jail, I want to hold somebody accountable for that. I want to be able to review that and say, well, yep, they did this right, they did this right. You guys need to work on this. You know what? You need taxpayer funding to pay for this schooling or whatever you need to provide these individuals. Then guess what? We can actually justify us throwing money at our jails. And then we can track where it's been utilized. Currently, right now, we have gone not only to the Office of the Attorney General, we've also gone to the Justice Department, we've also gone to the FBI, we've also, but to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who can review this information and review this report on Mr. Smallwood and come up with some answers. Besides, we told you so. I don't know who people think that they are when they get into an elected position to use the word, well, we told you so, because I said so. Show me. Show me where you have that authority. Too often times we get individuals that are charged with crimes out of spite, out of vengeance, out of these things or whatever. And they're charged, they're taken into jail, and they're charged with these crimes. But the fact of the matter is that it really wasn't a crime to begin with. And then we have caught police reports that are falsified, improperly taken, or the details have been skewed. So this is the issue that we have right now, is that we have a complete jail system and a justice system and also a commissioner system that fails to recognize the problem. But we want to throw more money at it. This all comes up because the fact is of a backlog of cases in our county jail. And what do they want to do? They want to throw money at it to get rid of the problem. Well, here's the kick here, is the fact is that, you know what? Just because we extend the jail doesn't mean we get to hire more guards. We're still only allotted so many guards. Extension will not add any guards or any people or procedures to the current status quo. So we already know we've got a problem with staffing in our county jails. Billing, in addition, we're going to actually go down. We're going to have less people that actually needs to be there to expand for this expansion. So when you look at the whole deal, you have to look at the all from the end. And what's the end game here? The end game is simple. They had a problem with the justice system. They want to throw money at it and make it disappear. Well, it's not going to disappear anytime soon, as long as we keep this attitude. We have a former sheriff who actually brought this to the attention of the commissioners and actually told them that, look, you can't hold these individuals for 2 and 3 years. What if they are innocent? Now, out of 100 inmates in there, 99% of them would be guilty, or let's assume they would be guilty. What about that one? What if you have a system in place that is not accessible to justice as we do in Angelina County? From the get-go, attorneys don't represent people in Angelina County. Number two, they take forever to get back to them. You'll be in there 6 months to a year before you even talk to an attorney or even get an attorney. And then the attorney has a right to refuse. They don't want to take the case. It's not justice. And we have created this monster because the fact is that the deals, the wheeling and dealing we got from the district attorney to the attorneys that actually choose to do business in Angelina County. These attorneys may have good intentions, but the fact of the matter is that, you know what, they get turned around. So I can't win a case here because the fact is that the cards are stacked against me. So I got to play ball. I got to tell the defendant, plea deal. I don't want to go to the court with you. I don't want to do this, whatever. Just plea deal it out. Make it go away. It's not justice. Next, for our justice topic, we have a Texas Ranger. His name is James Hicks. Mr. Hicks has been featured in videos and also has been questioned by the Texas Rangers as well, even to the point to where Mr. Hicks was actually reassigned from Angelina County. This was not his area anymore. He was assigned to Nacogdoches County. So somebody explained to me, like I'm a 3-year-old, why is he still conducting investigations in Angelina County? Why? We've already shown that he is biased or that he has had a working relationship with the district attorney and also other public officials. And it was proven to the Texas Rangers so bad that they had to transfer him to Nacogdoches. But somehow he's still doing the investigations of Angelina County. We've asked that question to the Texas Rangers as well. No comment. Matter of fact, it's a blood stain. It's an actual shame on their departments because the fact is that instead of firing the guy, they transferred him and did him a favor, but he's still working the same cases in Angelina County, where he has been determined by the Texas Rangers that he has a certain bias. So we got to get him out of the county. This goes on. And we can see this as a pattern because the fact is every public official that disagrees with the commissioner's office or the status quo of the district attorney, of elected officials, every person that actually he investigates, he quashes it, or he pursues it based upon not the investigation, but by his own feelings and his own political motivations. He makes $100,000 a year as a Texas Ranger. I'm not saying that's high. I'm not saying that's low. I'm just saying if you're going to pay somebody $100,000 a year and you kick him out of a county and you still allow this individual to do investigations in that county, what does it say about the Texas Rangers? And we already know the Texas Rangers and the DPS is already in a world of hurt because of Uvalde, because of all these incidences they've been caught. McCall was actually caught bribing people, taking bribes. And this is a reflection on the entire Texas Rangers, especially in this case, because the fact is we still continue the same type of pattern. We have in a nutshell, a system that can't be replaced by one election. We have a electorate of people who actually are apathetic, who've actually given up on the system and say, you know what, my roads are never going to be fixed. These issues are never going to be fixed. So shut up and take it. That's our only option. If you try to go down to the commissioners and you actually want to state, if you actually want to share your opinion about something to have on the agenda, you are shut down. You are not heard. Move on to the next agenda. There's no discussion, no nothing. However, there is discussion whenever you got a suit and tie and you represent individuals who are there to make money off of the county. I beg to differ. Supporting of law enforcement is this simple. It's supporting good law enforcement, community-based good law enforcement, where our individuals who actually are in charge of custody, arresting, and transporting our people that are charged with the crime to get all of their rights from the get-go. We don't have that here in Angelina County. We have a draconian sheriff's department who believes that we can just arrest people and we're going to put them in jail forever or however long it takes to get the criminals off the street. How do you know that? They haven't even been judged yet. How is that not supporting law enforcement? Individuals, they want justice done. They want justice done quickly, swiftly, and by any means necessary to make sure that we are actually putting away actual live criminals for the proper amount of time that they are sentenced to. And here's the thought. If you are a law enforcement officer or you are one of these individuals who actually are performing an arrest, if you do have a morale problem, you're going to charge that individual with as much crap as you can. See it to make it go against them, just throw it against the wall and see what sticks. This is what we have experienced, and this is what we continue to go through. Every person, if you are arrested in Angelina County, you will be charged. Whether you did so or not, you will be charged for resisting arrest. Everybody will. If you go through case logs or whatever, there's always that statute right there, resisting arrest, and then you hit with the other charges. There's no proof of resisting arrest. They're supposed to wear cameras, but no. They seem to not work whenever certain things come up. So this is my pet peeve, is that simple. I want law enforcement that is community-based, to where they know the community, to where they know each individuals, they know the issues and problems that the community is facing, and sets out to do right, to protect and to serve all citizens, not just who you select. We have currently at this time right now, we are actually in contact with two of the attorneys in the Smallwood case, who have actually requested the same information that I did and have been rebuked. However, the fact is that there are a number of individuals who actually were there and witnessed it, who have been in contact with these law firms, and these law firms are taking notes, and these law firms are going to be scheduling these individuals to come and testify, who are actually in the jail at that time, who actually witnessed it. We just had, the day before yesterday, we had a death in Nacogdoches County. said it was suicide. How do you determine that it's suicide when the autopsy hasn't even been committed yet? Hasn't even been performed yet? How do you know the cause of death? How do you know the time of death? How do you know if this individual was actually being checked upon? Was he actually suicidal when he came in? Did you check on this individual per the law? Did you do these things to make sure that not only that you are performing your job task, but also you're looking out for the individuals who are in your care? They're in your care. If something happens to them while you're in, you've got to answer for it, and you don't need to be hiding information. You need to come clean. If you do that, then the community has an opportunity to look and see what happened and say, okay, what are we doing about this issue? What are we doing about this issue? And this goes back to what is not being said, what is not being shown to us, what is not being told to us, and what is not an avenue to where we can actually vote for the right people or for the right issues that come up on our agenda. And also actually make an educated decision on what we need to do as a county. You've got to include the community. If you don't, you get a county that's on decline. The first thing that goes in any city, any county, anything is the infrastructure. We see that in our roads. We see that now. We've actually had problems with our water. We all notice water coming out all the time because we haven't kept up with our infrastructure. Why? Because we're paying money for a damn jail. $4 million has not been accounted for. That was supposed to go to roads, and it hasn't been going to roads. We've already proved that it hasn't gone to the roads. Where in the hell's the money at? Where's the money? Where'd it go? So this political season, and I'm not going to say who to vote for, who not to vote for, whatever. I make up my own mind. Back in my day, it was like, you don't ask nobody what they're voting or how they're voting. You just don't. It's rude. Because the fact is, you did not want to influence this individual on their personal rights and beliefs. Just go vote. So it's always put, just go vote. I don't care how you vote, just go vote. On a general election, Angelina County, for the presidential election, Angelina County is lucky if we get 40% of registered voters. If you add in non-registered voters, then you know what that means. We're looking close at 30% of the people, 30% of our population doesn't vote or can't vote. If you get down to an election like you're going to the city council, or I'm sorry, with the commissioner's office, and these items that are on the agenda, you'll get a whopping 15% of the vote. 15% of people will vote. So that right there, it starts the problem right there. It's amazing to me how many times that people, and people do, they have legitimate complaints. They have legitimate points. They have legitimate, and they want to stand up for their county or whatever. But the first question you ask them, did you vote? No. Are you registered to vote? No. So, in other words, you want them to do what you want, but you're not willing to support your government. So you want them to do what you say is necessary, but you're not willing to go and vote for it. You're not willing to go up and stand up as well. It's too easy to get on Facebook or wherever and complain about a situation as it affects you. Everyone has that right. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to do something to change that for the benefit of yourself and for others, you have to go and let your voice be heard. Voting, many people tell me all this all the time. Voting is a waste of time. Voting is, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. Okay, good. But guess what? If you don't vote, you don't get your voice heard. And every vote that actually is in there, even though if your candidate or your issue does not get resolved, it doesn't go your way, it actually influences the next election and who's running for election, because they can actually do a survey or a poll and see who supports this, who supports this, who supports this, what's the major concern of the public, so I can address this or whatever. It's called give and take. I have been known to be critical of Angelina County, and I will continue to look and be critical of my own government. A good saying was, getting better as a community. That's what we do. That's what we should be doing. That's what we are here for, to make it better for the people who come behind us. I don't want to strap individuals that come behind me with a debt for a county jail that's not going to work, and they'll be paying for that for 13, 14, 15 years. One other point. Check into the last fiscal year, and see how many times out of the general fund did we have to come and take money out of our general fund and contribute it to the jail because they were not running. They were not running efficiently, and they were losing money. With full capacity of the jail, we were still not being able to pay the bills of our jail. Now we want to add extension and another loan to it. Proof's in the pudding, guys. If you want a better jail, you got to prove what you can do. You got to prove that you can do a good job in the first place. Not that I am not, again, I'm not for building the jail. What I'm saying is this. I haven't been provided enough information to sell me on the fact is we need a new jail. We got multiple reasons why we have Old Cry Jail. We have multiple reasons why that we have individuals who have a low morale working for law enforcement. I don't believe it's just because the fact is that they're letting people out or whatever. And if we look at the percentage, people who we let out and how many reoffend, that's going to be less than 10%. So this is it in a nutshell, from as far as my opinion and what we need to do, but also what we need to think about. I'm not telling you what to do. You don't listen to me anyway. Come on, I was born in East Texas. Hell, you tell me something, I might even just do the opposite just to spite you. But the fact of the matter is that this is in your own court. This is something you have to realize, and you have to understand how it's happening, why it's happening, and why it continues to happen. And the reason why is that we do not have, and they will hide from us, information that will help us make a decision one way or the other. It's amazing in this political arena that we have right now. Our press is not covering the actual issues. Our press, Lufkin Daily News, I'm sorry guys, but you're not an investigator. You're not investigating. You don't follow up on cases. What your circulation actually consists of is people who want to talk about roses and talk about the schools and the football games instead of talking about issues that matter to us as a community, as a political community. Now, with this being said, this is just my reflection upon this. Anybody take it personal, hey, grow a pair, because the fact is, you got to handle criticism as well as you do support, and it's not always rosy. And I realize that people have to make tough decisions, but here's the thing: if you're going to have to make these tough decisions, explain to me and show me what information you have to make this decision. If you're unable to show me, or you're unable to produce documentation that proves your case or actually warrants your decision, we got a problem. And this, in a nutshell, is basically Angelina County. Is that we do not and are not being privy to the information for us to make an educated decision on items on the agenda, on our commissioners, on all of our elected officials. We don't have enough information. And we have a lot of people who are out, like today, they're out talking this big game, whatever. And nobody asks the questions, well, how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Explain to me, like I'm a 3-year-old, the steps you're going to take to fix this problem. Last thing. It has been an issue and is currently going to be an issue. The fact is that we have had, 2 years now, we have, at the public, we have actually voted. 75% of the people who voted supports the unit road system. In this item that we voted for, it specifically states we need a road commissioner. We are a commissioner who is an engineer. We have voted for that. Our commissioners say, we can't find anybody to hire. Well, because you run a little ad like that in the Lufkin Daily News. Are you actually specifically recruiting? Or do you just want to keep an administrator who's not an engineer in place to keep doing your bidding for you? Seems like it to me. But what do I know? Anyway, guys, just spitballing here, just to have just throwing out some issues that just kind of bother me, and it doesn't really seem right. And some can agree, some disagree, and that's okay. It's just fine, Won't be the first time. I'm not really well liked in Angelina County. I'm a Marine, man. I don't care. I don't have feelings. That's what they told me a long time ago. I said, man, what happened to you? I don't have them no more. You can't go through and see what I've seen and really wear your heart on the sleeve. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and share, or ask questions. Hit me up, ask me questions. What do you need, information wise or whatever, to help us spread the word to individuals who are actually being restricted on information, and they're not being told the full story. Let's get to talking. Let's get to go back and say it and comparing notes. Well, he said this. Well, yeah. Well, he told me this. So pretty soon we'll be able to we'll start putting the pieces together, and we'll start saying, oh, you know what? This is what it's really like. And what can I do about it? Anyway, guys, thanks. Be good. Keep your powder dry. I'm out.